Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial on how to utilize the El Monte Vision Zero dashboard. This tutorial will go over collision trends that have been occurring within the city of El Monte between 2008 to 2019 SWITRS data, which is collision data captured from the California Highway Patrol and other agencies. What this will focus on is how to use some of the widgets on the dashboard to extrapolate data from a map-based perspective that otherwise you wouldn't really visually be able to see, within tables or other forms of data. Basically, the dashboard is going to cover how many collisions occurred within the city of El Monte between fatal, severe, and visible injuries, as well as who did the collisions were involved with. Were they involved with pedestrians, bicyclists, other motor vehicles? And then lastly, we'll touch on a couple of other widgets that are within the data. Basically, the primary collision factor, which is the main factor that caused the collision, as well as the collision type. Was it a rear end collision? Was it a head-on collision? So just some tips and tricks on how to navigate this dashboard and basically filter for the data that you're looking for. So without further ado, I will get into the first widget, which is the map. So as you can see here, this is the city of El Monte. As you can see here, points are plotted on the map. These are the locations of the collisions that occurred in the data. As you can see here, they are symbolized, or otherwise known as color-coded, based off of the severity of the injuries. So red is a fatality happened during the collision. Green are severe injury collisions, and then blue that primarily takes up most of the map are visible injuries. And this is very important for our Vision Zero efforts as we're looking to eliminate these three major categories from roadways moving forward. And as you can see here, this is in the top left window here. This is the total amount of collisions that are occurring on the map. If you zoom in to a location on the map, so if let's say if you hold Shift and drag your mouse over, you could zoom into a certain section, and from here this will take a second to load the map, but this will tell you the number of collisions within the map extent of how far you're zoomed in. So if you zoom in, let's say even farther, this number will also change dynamically. It's taking a second to load. So you can see here it changes to 74. Just give it a second to load. Okay, so we'll zoom out really quick. Another interesting thing to do from within the map, you'll see there's these widgets basically in the top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner, and the bottom right-hand corner. Now what this does is this lets you to zoom in and out, which you can do if you have your mouse. You can use your scroll wheel. This select tool up here, this is a select tool. So this basically you can select certain points on the map. So if you wanted to select, for instance, this might take a second to load, but let's say you wanted to select this section, for instance, you can have these selected. And what this will do is this will also filter some of these other widgets for you. Now you can clear this out. So as you can see here, I'll just demonstrate it one more time. Say you want to do a circle. Let's do like this area, for instance. You can see here it filters some of these other widgets down here, as well as filtering some other columns, which we'll get into in a second. So you can clear this. Basically, to clear your selection, you do that. The search function, this lets you search an address or a place on the map. So I know Ramona Boulevard is within El Monte. So see here, you can search that and it'll take you to that location there. So this home button will also just take you back to the home extent. So if you're ever like zoomed in and need an easy way to pan out, this home button is helpful. This is another legend, which we pinned on the right-hand side, legend of the points. The layers here, so we also made a heat map, which takes a second to load, but it's a heat map of collision hotspots located within, and then also the city boundary as well. Another cool thing you can do is change the base map. So right now it's showing just streets. If you wanted to change to an imagery base map, you can do so with ease there. And you can also toggle it back to different base maps that are located. Now to kind of get into some of these widgets, these widgets are very extracted from the data, but it also filters the map for you. So for instance, let's say, let's go to our collision severity tab down here. Let's say we want to look at just fatal collisions. So here you can toggle the different, basically the different severe collision types. If you just click on them, that filters them out. You can also click on the pie chart. So let's say we want to look at just severe injury. You can click on the pie chart. So you can either filter by just selecting what you want on the chart, or you can toggle the other ones off and select the pie chart as well. Whatever's easier. So as you can see here, this shows 34 fatal collisions occurred within that time frame. As you can see here, this automatically filtered our graph showing the primary collision factor. Now, if we go back to our collisions involved with, this also changed. So if you see here, if we want to look at just pedestrian collisions, so this is filters the map to the 13 pedestrian locations on where they are located. Now, as you can see here, here's the primary collision factors of those 13 collisions. 7 of them were pedestrian violations, 3 were pedestrian right-of-way, 1 was traffic signal, 1 not stated, and 1 unknown. Now, collision type as well, you can see here, it was obviously between a vehicle and a pedestrian. Similarly, if we wanted to toggle that off and look at bicycles, you can see here 3 were other, 2 were broadside as collision types, and the primary collision factor was traveling on the wrong side of the road, improper passing, and the automobile right-of-way. So some really neat dynamic ways of viewing the data. And to basically to clear your filtering, you just click off the pie chart and it'll filter the rest out. Now, if you wanted to see, let's say, multiple primary collision factors, you didn't want to see just one, similar to collision types as well. Like we wanted to see just head-on, rear end, and so forth. You can do so. So head-on, you can see here. Side swipe, you can see here. Broadside, you can see here was the primary number as well. So if we toggle that off, that goes that. And then here, you could do some other dynamic filtering too. If you want to see just bicycle and ped collisions, you can see just the broadside collisions and primarily just bicycles. So some really neat tips and tricks on how to dynamically filter through this Vision Zero dashboard. Feel free to reach out if there's any questions anyone might have. I know it's might be a little weird getting used to it first, but as always, I think it's a very unique visual tool to look at collision trends throughout the city. So as always, please feel free to let me know if you have any other questions, but without further ado, thanks again, and I will talk to you later. Thank you.